In this video, Matt is going to show us how to install this ceiling fan.
Today we're going to be installing a Fanimation AireFlush that you can purchase at Lowe's. I've installed several fans from Lowe's and Home Depot, and what I've kind of come to realize, they're both a little bit different, but all of Lowe's fans are very similar, and all the fans Home Depot sells, it's like the home brand or something, they're all very similar as well. So once you put one in, the second one is like twice as fast. So I don't usually read the directions, but this is really important. You see this? It is imperative that you read the instructions found in the owner's manual for programming your DC fan. So this fan is hardwired into a constant live circuit, so it always has power. And then it has a remote that you mount to the wall to change the lighting, fan speed, etc. So what this is saying is, if you're familiar with like the old style garage door openers, they had like the tabs on them to give you your radio frequency. This has the same thing. So if you install every fan without doing anything to that, and if the remote doesn't correlate to this, when you hit this button, all the fans in your house are going to respond. So we already installed the first one with all these up. So the next one, we'll just keep it simple. We'll put like the first two down, and we'll do the same on the remote, so that this fan remote will control that fan, and that fan remote will control the other fan in the other room. I think you had an issue like this in your apartment, and you have a YouTube video about it, don't you? About fan remotes.
You're exactly right, Matt. See, my neighbor was actually controlling my fan in my living room, and I had to reprogram my remote to the fan.
So we're gonna go ahead and install it properly so we don't have that problem.
You can check out the video. I'll post the
link in the description below.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get on with it.
All right.
Go, 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 go.
You know what? One thing that's pretty important, we just finished installing that TV, put a barn door up for that TV. My hands are pretty dirty.
All right, so you just got your hands washed.
Washed, not washed. Depends where you're from. Yeah, we're handling a finished product, and I'm not trying to trash it right out the bat, so here we go. Blades here. Well, if you're using instructions, it's always good to just lay everything out and verify what the instructions are. Usually in the instructions...
Room over there.
What?
It was like the first thing that was in the box. Right there, isn't that it?
Okay, yes. Yeah. Here is the instructions. But I'm usually too impatient to do this.
Yeah, me too.
Here it is. This is what I was talking about. You have a list of all your parts. Make sure you have everything before you start. That's always good. So we're going to double check to make sure we have everything. Everything looks good to me. Throw the instructions away. We'll do 1, 2, 2 down, 2 up, 1 down. Two down, 2 up, plus 1 down. All right, that way they're all the same. While we have the remote open, let's put the batteries in it that it came with. So it says plus on this side, and there's a minus here, so minus side down. Everyone's trying to make everything smaller and more challenging these days. Close this back up. All right, always make sure your power's off. This switch powers that wire right there. That switch is in the off position. If you do have an electrical tester, double check it. I don't know where mine's at. And if you do not feel comfortable working on electric, don't do it. I know from the previous fans, this part goes on first. That one's stuck. And when you're doing this, make sure that there is a fan box up there and not just an electrical box that maybe held a light. They're mounted differently and have different support. Or reinforce it. All right, one really nice thing I like about this fan that not all fans have is this motor gets heavy to hold, and you got a wire nut. It's nice to have two hands. So it comes with this cable. Boom. That's nice. The length of wire to work with, but you want to make sure you have enough room to push it back. So we got to close all this up. So neutral. It's hot. Bare wire is going to be your ground. I'm going to connect the ground first. Got all the grounds connected here. So the 2 points meet. And it looks like we're getting a nice bite. Go ahead and give it a nice tug, make sure that everything's in there. And then if you twist too much, you can break it. So I try not to over twist, especially with the smaller gauge wires. And then we'll go ahead and we're gonna do our hot. Orange should be perfect. And also make sure that there's no exposed copper. Everything is inside the nut. And right as it's gonna be twisted together, take a tug on it, take a tug on it, it's good. Give it another, well, probably right there is good. And they're all color coded. So this says blue for light, blue for light. Let's take a wild guess and say these two go together. Just give them a little twist together. Stick them in the wire nut. Just tight with those. We got brown for light. Brown for light, same thing. They make this really easy. The hardest part about doing this fan is losing the blood out of your arms. We got red motor, red to motor. Yellow to motor. Everything appears to be connected. We have 3 Phillips screws that are all the way in. So we're gonna take them out. So I'm gonna shove this up here, the wire coming in as far as I can. It looks like they give you a good amount of room here, right? Just kind of stick it all in there. If anyone else has an easier way of doing this, leave a comment below. Or if everyone has the same struggle as me, I'm curious.
Oh, your yellow wire's not in. Make sure you get all the wires in.
Okay. Is that hole lined up?
No, go to the right a little bit. A little more. You're almost there. Alright, just down here and you're lined up.
We're going to tighten it up. Not super tight. We don't want it coming apart. But if you go too tight, you're just going to strip it out. Just nice and snug. Next, it looks like blades are next. Here's the holes for the blades. Ooh. This side up. So what I like to do is put these in. I'll drop in the middle one. And then usually you can kind of tell on the screw pattern, or I guess the hole pattern. And I put my screwdriver on the screw. And I'm thinking right here. It's fairly loose. still fairly loose. I'll go ahead and tighten this one. I do not recommend using a screw gun to do this. You really want to feel, you want it tight enough, you don't want it too loose, you don't want to break the screw, you don't want to strip it up, you don't want to cross thread it. I know a lot of people out there probably think, well, I'm not paying a lot of money for a screwdriver. You buy the $5 combo kit, you get a Phillips #1, Phillips #2, and multiple flats to switch around for $5.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's worth spending the money for a good screwdriver. Tip doesn't wear out, nice magnetic fit. See that? Nice magnetic fit.
My snap-on screwdriver set was a pretty penny.
Yeah, you know what? And I always was that screwdriver guy.
Me too.
It really falls back to that old saying, you get what you pay for. And that really is true. I mean, sometimes you do get ripped off and you pay more than you should for something.
But
It seems like that's the case with everything nowadays. Well, you just get the first blade and fast forward the rest, right? That were to go on next. And this would go on these screws.
it looks like a light.
And then after that, we'd pop this on. Now this looks like if you weren't going to do a light, there you go.
It's magnetic.
It's a cover in case you don't want to do a light.
Okay.
So this one we have 2 slotted, 1 not. So we'll pull 1 screw out, loosen the other, fit it in there. Back about halfway out. We'll pull these out. Magnetic screwdriver. Really comes in handy for doing stuff like this. And this one is not expensive. Like the Milwaukee kit I think was like $20 or $30. And at the light here, it's going to be the same situation. We're going to remove 1, loosen the other 2, but we're going to plug these wires in. We got blue and white. I'm going to go blue on blue and white on white. There's that. And then 1 screw. Nice magnetic screwdriver. Back these out about halfway. Where are we at here? Lock that in. Put that screw back in that you just removed. Light cover. It's looking like you're about a 1/4 turn. Find the groove. Done. Oh, you know what? We need to mount that switch. Where's that at? I'm just going to take 2 drywall screws. I'm going to mount it right next. Doesn't fit there. We're just going to put it right next to here. I think that looks good right there. Excuse me. All right, so put that in there. It is a remote, but we don't need to walk around with it. That's plenty good there. Let's see if it works. So we should have power to it. Let's hit the fan button. Fan spin it. Let's turn the light on. And this one you can adjust.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, there you go. And what I like about this fan is once you have the setting that you would normally like if you don't want your light, if you just want to turn it on, well, I like that one better. Let's say that's how you want it at night, or you like to have the fan on. This switch powers that fan. You turn that off and it'll save the memory because there's power to it. And then when you turn that on, it just goes back to whatever setting you had it on. There it goes. So today, I got here a little after 9. I installed a barn door, TV, and a ceiling fan. What time is it? Is it lunchtime? And I even bullshitted with the neighbors for 15 minutes.
I think it was like half an hour.
Oh, and I did all those closet shelves.
Yeah.